fell in love with you first time I looked into them there eyes. You had a so cute way of flirting with them there eyes. They made me feel so happy, made me feel blue. All in those stalling, baby. Crazy way for little old you. My heart was jumping. You started something with them there eyes. You had better watch them in your eyes, little brown eyes. They sparkle, they bubble. Gonna get this fat boy in trouble. Overworking, danger lurking. Them there eyes. Hello, pretty mama, but I looked into them there eyes. You had a certain cute way of flirting with them there eyes. They make me feel so happy, make me feel blue. All of those solid, baby, in a crazy way for you. My heart was jumping, you started something. Them there eyes. You better watch them in your eyes, little brown eyes. They sparkle, they bubble. Gonna get this fat boy in trouble. Overworking, danger lurking into them. In them
stories that you know where I get these things from, don't you? People stop me. I meet people in the oddest places. You know, I meet the weirdest people in the toilet. The other night, I'm standing in the toilet. Some guy comes running in. He pulls out this great big thing. He said, I just made it. I said, would you make me one of them? Wow! Some of the things that happened to me, you wouldn't... I gotta tell you, a friend of mine is an undertaker, an embalmer at an undertaker parlor. And he's embalming this body, and he noticed the guy's got a cork in his ass. He pulls out the cork, he hears, Winchester Cathedral. He shoves the cork back in, he says, I must be going out of my mind. He pulls the cork out again, he hears, Winchester Cathedral of Odiodo. He shoves the cork back in, he calls up his friend, he says, Charlie, get over here right away. He said, what seems to be the trouble? He said, don't ask me over the phone, you'll think I'm crazy, get over here. 20 minutes later, Charlie comes bursting in, he said, what's the trouble? He pulls out the cork, he said, listen to this. Winchester Cathedral. He said, you got me out of bed at 4:30 in the morning to listen to some asshole sing Winchester Cathedral? Did you hear about the colored guy meets the girl on the street? He says, hello, Mama, what's your name? She said, Magnolia. He said, what's your whole name? She said, Pussy. I gotta think, you know, since I live in Miami Beach, I see the funniest things in the world. You know, we are integrated down here in Florida. No, this is true, lady. And there was a Negro man, he came down, he was out on the beach, and he had 2 bottles of suntan oil, and he was putting it all over. And he meant it. He was singing zippity-doo-dah, zippity-ay. I'm gonna get me a tan the white mother way, yeah. And he's laying out on the beach, and all of a sudden this white broad happens to step right across his face. He's like, holy mackerel, this is the night. And as he stretches his arms out on the sand, he feels something in the ground. And the more he feels it, all of a sudden there's a puff of smoke. And the voice says, I am the genie of the lamp. He said, no shit. You the genie of the lamp. He said, I've been in that bottle for 3,000 years. He said, no shit. You've been in that bottle 3,000 years. He said, you have released me. Any 2 wishes you want, baby, you name it, you got it. Colored fella said, hell, I don't know nothing about no wishes, but did you see the white broad that walked across my face? Well, I'd like to be between her legs. And number 2, I'd like to be white. The genie says, it shall be thine. And turned him into a Tampax. situation today. I got into a cab with a colored cab driver. He said to me, "Where to, Fat Daddy?" I said, "Any place you're going, baby." You don't talk back, the son of a will march around the cab. That's one thing about the Jews. We don't bother with the marches. We're too busy opening the store, making money. We don't know about the marches. Where do you think my people were during the race riots in Alabama? Selling helmets. To both sides. And when Martin Luther King made that famous statement, "I'm going to get my ass out of here," the Jew was right behind him. "You want to buy a bike?" Oh, it's all right to be Jewish now. We won the war. You think I'm kidding? That's like the two Jews that meet on the street. The one says, "Irving, you want to get screwed?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Cash my check." I just got back from Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know. Have any people been to Las Vegas? They have a joint out there called Caesar's Palace. A $25 million edifice. I don't want to say anything, but they got 13 naked statues as you enter this hotel. Show you how prejudice works. 95% of this hotel is owned by Jews. Not one of these fakakta statues is circumcised. I went out there one morning with a chisel. Platoon, you this. Oh, yeah, I chipped the putz right over one of them. But they have gambling every place in Las Vegas. You wouldn't believe the places they got gambling. Wherever they give you change, that's where they got gambling. And they got in the movie theaters, in the 5 and 10 cent store, as you go to the swimming pool, to the synagogue, to the church, every place they got gambling. Caesar's Palace has slot machines in the toilet. I took a crap, cost me $200. I was trying to win a roll of toilet paper. I couldn't get out of the joint. I said to the guy in the next booth, "You got 10 ones for a 10? He gave me a roll of quarters. Don't laugh, lady. Try wiping your ass on a roll of quarters. It's not fun. I took a friend of mine to the racetrack, right? Tropical Park open. I took a friend. What does he do? He brings his wife with him. She's got on the mini skirt with the low-cut blouse, with the bazooms hanging out. We're standing there at the rail trying to figure out the racing form. I said to him, "What do you think of the 3?" He said, "Well, the 3 quits. I like the 7. He comes from out of it." Some guy walks up and pinches his wife in the right boob. This guy don't flick an eyelash. So I said, "Well, if you play the 7 to win, we'll play the 3 to place." While we're talking about the horses, a guy pinches her on her left boob. I said to him, "Charlie, while we're busy talking about the horses, these guys keep pinching your wife on the knocker." He said, "I know, Tub, but if I leave her home, they screw her." It's just silly to ask a question like that. I gotta think, I think a lot about my childhood. A lot of people say to me, "How did you ever get into show business?" I never grew up in this business. I blew up in it. I got to tell you about my childhood. I was the biggest baby my mother ever had. Well, you laugh. I weighed 62 pounds at birth. Took my mother 3 months to get her legs back together. How would you feel? I've had trouble ever since I was a kid. Every time we played Cowboys and Indians, I was always a horse. If we played hide and seek, I used to hide 3 kids. I used to love to go roller rink skating. I'd have to wait for the sign to light up, couples only. But I can still remember my childhood, me and Stinky and Louie standing in the alley taking a... I shouldn't say that. We have ladies here. I'll clean that up. You remember when you went to school, you had to raise your hand, number 1, number 2, pee-pee, poo-poo. You remember that? We used to stand in the alley writing our name in the snow. Dot the I. I got in trouble one day. My name was in my sister's handwriting. Oh, I tell you one thing. I can never forget my school teacher. We had one teacher, Miss Hassenpfeffer. I'll never forget this broad as long as I live. Every time you got a question right, she gave you a jelly bean. I never got a friggin' jelly bean all the time I was in her class. I never got a question right. One day during recess, I said, to hell with this broad, I'll go buy my own jelly beans. So I went to the candy store to buy some jelly beans, only to find out that she bought every damn jelly bean in the joint. So instead, I bought 10 cents worth of chocolate-covered nuts. I went back to the classroom. I was eating my nuts. You don't think that's rough? Try it sometime. I sat down at my desk. I dropped 2 of the chocolate-covered nuts. Old lady Hassenpfeffer spied it. She said, "Who's got chocolate-covered nuts?" I said, "Sammy Davis Jr., give me my friggin' jelly beans." Well, I got a question right, didn't I? We had another teacher, Miss English. Every year, she used to play different games. One year she played a game called Smell It, Swallow It, and Chew It. I play the game more now than I did then. She used to get a little kid up in the classroom and put a blindfold around him, and you had to identify different objects by the sense of smell and taste. So one day she got me up and she put a blindfold on me and she handed me an apple. I smelled it, I bit it, I said, "That's an apple." She said, "Wonderful, Tub." So she handed me a banana. I smelled it, I sucked it, I bit it. Well, I made mistakes too. I said, "That's a banana." She said, "Marvelous, Tub. Now the next one's going to be a little harder." I said, "You wouldn't dare." Not in front of the other kiddies. So she had a little box of candy on her desk. She took out a little candy kiss, a little taffy candy kiss. She handed it to me. I smelled it, I bit it. I said, "Teacher, I don't know what that is." She said, "Come on, Tubby, you know what that is." I said, "No, ma'am, I don't know what it is." She said, "I'll give you a hint. What does your mother give your father before they go to bed at night?" A little kid in the back yelled, "Spit it out, Tub, it's a piece of ass." Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if we may, we would like to take this opportunity to do one of my favorite songs. We hope it's one of yours. It's a tune that's been done by many, many people. It's called "You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You."
I said you're nobody until somebody loves you. Why, you ain't nobody until somebody cares. Why, you may be king and you may possess all the world and its gold, but honey, gold ain't gonna bring you any happiness, not when you start to roll. I said the world still is the same. You ain't never gonna change it. Not as sure as the stars shine above. 'Cause you're nobody till somebody loves you. So you better go and find yourself some nice fat boy. When I said the world remains the same, you ain't never gonna change it. No. Why, not as sure